SK Vibemaker.
SK Vibemaker. My interviews are hotter. You know we bring through the best special guests. We are not changing tradition anytime soon. Look who's in the building. What's happening? CoCo Jones, aka Courtney, right? Real name?
Oh Lord, yes. If we must say that.
I heard you do a mean British accent.
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like it's quite all right. But honestly, I'm trying to figure it out because some people are saying it's not good. They're saying it's shit.
It's all right. It's a bit very regal, what we call regal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, is that wrong?
It's all right.
Anyway, back to me. I don't know. I need to go to South London and really hone in.
Straight up.
To get what a
South
hood
London
fit.
is ready for you.
Okay, thanks.
So, from TV screens to microphones, stages, I mean, you've made a transition. Mm-hmm. Tell everybody that doesn't know about the story so far.
Story so far, I mean, I've been singing since I was a little kid. I would do talent competitions. I met a producer who believed in me. He worked with me for free. I created this very ghetto DIY EP of songs about sleepovers and basketball. I went to a casting call. I gave that, also these are years in between, okay? I gave that to some executives for Disney Channel. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I was like, you guys are going to learn about me, so stay tuned. They called me 2 years later. I did Next Big Thing, which is their talent competition. And then from there, I just auditioned a lot with them. I did some guest stars, got to bigger roles. And then I made a movie with them that really put me on the map. And then from there, it's just been
music. Signing to Def Jam Records.
Oh no, that's
way after.
Chapters.
That's after.
Yeah.
So you've been working for a bit.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
My first introduction to the industry was 11 when I did Next Big Thing.
Yeah, straight up. That's deep, man.
Yeah.
How did you find the transition from being on the screens and everyone knowing you as a child actor into a serious professional singer and people perceiving you as that?
I mean, that's really just happening right now. I mean, honestly, even before this time, I wasn't really that. I still feel like I was a child actor trying to figure out how to break out of that. Mm-hmm. So right now that it's happening, I think it's because that's what I actually am, my music and my artistry really has nothing to do with any of those things. I mean, it taught me about work ethic and persistence, but everything that I am now is a product of living life and figuring out my story and my truth. Mm-hmm. So it feels like I earned it.
How does it feel to be in the UK? Because I know a lot of American artists and people in general don't even have a passport, but you over here. I don't know if this is your first time here.
This is my first time here, but yeah, I've had a passport. I've been to Germany before. I've been to Italy with my homegirl. But I love London. I've always wanted to go here. I mean, probably because I did the accent so much. Literally, even randomly, I'll just be hello. When I pick up the phone, I don't know why. It's just something that I've always done. So
is it everything that you perceived it to be before you got here?
Well, I didn't have any expectations except for I thought there'd be more black people everywhere and they'd be yeah, bro, yeah.
You thought there'd be more black people, so you haven't seen black people.
That's what I'm saying. I need to go where they're at. But it's the same. Okay. It's very similar to LA or even Tennessee. Black people just aren't everywhere. Yeah. Atlanta, they're everywhere. Mm-hmm. But these other places, it's they're in pockets of
straight.
Boys. So gotta go there.
How would you say CoCo Jones fits into the current landscape of music?
I think I'm honestly a breath of fresh air because I have a lot of experience in working and being in the industry, so I know what it is and I don't take it to my head. And I feel like I got to this break to be normal. So I feel like that's where this relatable sense comes in. When it comes to preparation, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to be on tour. I'm ready to do all the press, do the work that it takes to really establish myself. But as a person, I'm just regular as hell. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like it's refreshing. And I want to make songs that feel like what me and my girls talk about every day. You know what I'm saying? Something relatable.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I mean, some people talk about the parallels between TV, movie and music. Mm-hmm. But what have you seen as some of the biggest obstacles trying to make it as a new artist in this music industry?
I mean, you either got it or you don't. There's not many tries of introducing yourself. You know what I'm saying? That first impression, if you don't do it right, it's good luck. Mm-hmm. I think the music industry is very particular in what they accept. And so even with this debut EP, it was very tactful, very strategic because I didn't want to represent myself in the wrong way and have to combat that. Mm-hmm. I want to feel like I can evolve into different versions of myself, but that intro, it had to be right, It's just very, very much more particular. Like, and also, I think they don't really care about film and TV. Like, people love Bel Air, but like they don't want to hear Hillary on the track. That's not gonna give what it needs to have gave, you know?
Straight up.
So they don't really, it doesn't bleed over. I thought they would like cross feed. I'd be like, this will help. They were like, anyway, what's the songs? You know? Anyway, what's the streams? What are the numbers? You know? Which was, I was like, okay, damn, I respect it.
Talk about streams and numbers. I mean, that is a big thing within the music industry. How much currency do you put in going viral and doing challenges?
I mean,
because you know that's how a lot of new artists are popping off these days.
Yeah, that is tea. Challenges, I feel like they do help. Social media, because it's all social media and it's content, and that content really can change things for you. Going viral, I know that immediately it puts you on. That's the marketing budget that you could never afford. You know, that's worldwide. I don't know how much it works for longevity. But I've seen some people that started viral that still eat, but they was gonna eat regardless. Something just took off because they were consistent in what they were doing. I don't know though. I don't know if I would want viral without me having enough experience and enough outs. You know, because what if I pop all the way off and I got one song out and now you want me to do songs just like that? But I was just being funny. You know, like, I don't know. I want to make sure that I have more artistry. And then, do I want to go viral? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is that a worry as a new artist sometimes, that, you know, things can move a lot quicker than maybe intended these days, and maybe you haven't been in the studio recording so many songs because you are an actual artist, even though a lot of people see you on the screens first, they might see you as that actor and the child actor first. You can actually sing and you got a lot of soul. Thanks. And that's not something that you can manufacture.
I mean, well, thank you. I don't necessarily worry about it moving too fast. It's moving fast. But the way that I've been ready for it, like the momentum of it, maybe not like the artistry and the subject matter because I hadn't lived enough, but as far as like knowing how to work extreme amount of hours and still like pick it up and do the same thing the next day, knowing like how important it is to like watch what I'm eating and like watch what I'm drinking, and like my body is my temple, and if I can't expect to be wilding out and then go and do a performance like the song is ICU. You can't just play with that. You know, like knowing that sacrifice of like, okay, I can't kick it with my girls, like I have things to do, and I hope that they understand, but like I don't ever want to like miss out on an opportunity because I was distracted. Like all of those things that I feel like it takes to really break and last, I do feel like I'm ready for it. So even though it's moving fast, it's not like the only thing that I really feel like is catching me by storm sometimes is like the balance of acting and singing. You know, like there are two companies who both want me at the same time to be there for the same amount of hours, you know, and that's more of the struggle, but that's my team figuring out how to figure that out. I just have to know to give my 100 to every part. I've been doing that since I was 9. You
spoke about your body being a temple. You take it kind of seriously. I know you come from a family of athletes as well. How much of the competitiveness that you had in your household as the athletes have you brought into you as a musician and being competitive as a musician?
All of it. I mean, literally, that's who I am. It's part of my upbringing, because my dad would always say, like, there's always someone willing to outwork you, you know? So if you want to be the girl that's like cutting corners, okay, then scoot over for the girl who's a perfectionist. You know what I'm saying? Logically, like in the laws of the world, like hard work equals, you know, opportunity. It equals payoff. So that competitiveness with myself, I'm not over here looking at what every girl is doing, because that'll drive you crazy real bad. I'm talking about with myself. Like, I'm the one who knows if I really gave it my all. I can do a performance and people be like, y'all ate. But I know I wasn't really giving it my all. I know I stayed up way past da-da-da-da-da. I know I didn't really look at that script the amount of times that I could have. I know. So I'm competitive with myself. And that's like part of me.
Again, body being your temple, I feel like female artists in particular they're not under the same, well, they are more under the microscope, not like their male counterparts when it comes to their body. And I know like a lot of female artists maybe are under the pressures of maybe having surgery, bad B culture and all that kind of stuff. Have you felt any of those pressures to, you know, bad B, have body surgery?
No, I haven't had any pressure to like do any type of surgery or anything like that. That's not something I feel like anyone can pressure me to do. Like go under a knife. That's only if that's what I'm trying to do. You know, for me, I just stick with what feels authentic to me. I feel like if I do have any kind of pressure, maybe it's sometimes like what I wear, but it's not pressure from anyone on my team. It's more like, is this right? Like me just coming of age. Like I'm still 25 and I'm figuring out me. So when I wear something, I'm like, do I like this for real? Or is this just like the hottest thing that's out right now? Like, does this feel right? Do I feel comfortable in this? Are you really going to walk on a stage and do this? Because don't get on the stage and then be feeling insecure because you chose to wear it. You know, me to myself. Those are the only things where I feel like kind of pressured sometimes, but not from anyone outside. Just me. Pressured to make sure like this is for real me. Because anything that I put on the internet, it cannot come down. Anything that I wear, it's permanent, you know?
It's there.
It's there.
Straight up.
It's there.
CoCo Jones is in the building. She thought she was going to come to London and everybody was going to be saying fam, fam, fam all the time. She thought everyone was going to be saying waste man, wagwan and all that.
Wagwan.
We don't really talk like that now, you know. We don't really talk like that again.
That's okay.
It's changed.
It was just the stereotype. Y'all probably think we're like French fries and pizza. We're not like that either.
We don't think that about you.
What do you guys think?
I feel like that kind of opinion is one directional. Like you think this about us, which ain't true, but we know how you guys are.
You do?
Yeah, and plus I got American family anyway, so and I'll be out.
Oh,
there.
so you think you know?
I do know. Yeah,
okay, well, what's up?
Know.
What are we? What is it giving? What is the stereotypical thing that's actually correct?
You guys think like America is the whole planet? You know what I'm saying?
Tea really bad.
Yeah.
That was English breakfast tea.
Exactly. That's the main one.
I mean, but
you guys don't know your heritage that much.
You got me. Okay, moving on. Next topic.
Yeah, okay,
Ouch.
we'll keep it moving.
My emotions.
So I do know you. I do know Americans.
I said you got it. You got it,
I didn't need to spike it too much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's okay. You're forgiven.
So let's talk about the pros and cons of growing up in public, because you've definitely done that.
Yeah. The pros and cons. I think for me, I really got the best of both experiences because, like people know, I didn't have a TV show. I had a movie. So I feel like I got like to dip the toe without having to fully dive into what it would be like to like have to come back from that character that was on a TV show for seasons and years of people watching that. You know, like mine was like a blip in time. So I feel like I did kind of get the best of both worlds. The pros of it, you really learn who likes you for you, because the switch up that people have is crazy. And I think you learn how to read people better, like their true motives, just because you hear a lot of da 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 da, and you see people just being like, even as you're a little kid growing up, you're like So I feel like you can read people better. I mean, obviously the cons of it is you're in public figuring out who you are, and you have a lot of opinions. So probably half the time you don't really figure out who you are until you like 19, 20, when everybody else figured out where they was at 16, you know? So you're just kind of behind socially and authentically, and sometimes that can make you a little crazy. Sometimes you're a little crazy.
I've been speaking to a lot of artists recently about the correlation between the numbers and good music. When songs come out these days, the numbers are very much promoted by what they're doing on YouTube. The DSPs, they're promoted by the management, the label, the PR, everybody, and people will lead you to believe that the songs with big numbers are the best thing since sliced bread, and maybe better than the songs with lesser numbers. How much of a correlation do you feel there is with this generation of music between the songs with big numbers and how good a song actually is?
I think a song can be amazing and no one ever heard it. Like, good numbers half the time is just marketing. That don't mean your song is anything. It just means that they knew where to place it to get it played and heard. So I don't even take numbers to mean that a song really ate. I take it to mean either A, you have a good team, or the song really ate. It could be either or maybe it's both. I think a good song has nothing to do with the numbers. Sometimes it's just like a lack of support, a lack of strategy. But do I want big numbers? Yes. I mean, also, I feel like if you have big numbers and a good song, that's when you stand the test of time. I think the truest test of if it's good is if it stands the test of time. Like maybe a song is from 2004 and it pops off now. That was a good song the entire time, and it stood the test of time. That's why it's still out now. So I don't know. It just could mean anything. There's no exact correlation to me.
What I didn't tell you is the name of the EP.
Yeah.
What didn't you tell us?
That I lived my life, and that, yeah, you may know me from like Disney Channel and being a cute little kid, but like during that break, I was outside figuring out myself, having fun, going to college parties with my girls, taking Jello shots, living my best life. I hope I was allowed to say that. I don't know how y'all work in the UK,
You
but
can say that. You can
y'all
say
drink,
that.
right? Okay, per. But yeah, like the stories that I didn't tell you, the things that I want to share that I feel like would be like, oh, she's just like me, because yeah, I am.
I mean, growing up in public, being on the Disney Channel, people maybe expected you to always be like clean cut. Do you feel
Yeah.
like boxed in, that maybe you can't be rough around the edges, or it's tricky for you to maybe, you know, rough it up a bit and be explicit and raw?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember like the first time that I cursed on a song. It wasn't my song. I wrote it for somebody else. And like I was writing with somebody else, and we agreed to put a curse word in there, and I was like literally I was like, no. But half of that, like maybe 20% of that came from my childhood upbringing, and the other 80 came from my religious upbringing. Because I just didn't want to feel like we lost her, you know? But that's just not real life. Like I just feel like with my relationship with God, and like I can be myself, you know? And so I had to learn how to not, because I would talk to my girls one way, and then I'd go sing and I'd be like, I can never say a bad word. Like, come on. That's just not the truth. Like, it's cap. And I can't be afraid of what my mom and my grandmama going to say. You know what I'm saying? When this is how I really talk. So I just had to be myself and be like, okay, I'm going to be my version of a light. Like, I'm going to be my version of positivity. That's why you're going to hear songs like Caliber, and you're going to speak life over yourself. And then you might hear a cuss word or two, or maybe an N-word respectfully. But that's how I talk. That's how we talk.
And you come from a religious background as well, so there
Yeah.
must have been added pressure to maybe be like maybe a gospel artist. So being maybe not a gospel artist and closer to secular, I don't know if that's fair to say.
Absolutely.
Was that a pressure as well?
I mean, only at the beginning. My mom was my everything, my team. So the goal was, you know, to get me to work. But the first door we tried to go through was gospel, and it just didn't work. Like every door would close, and you know, this path, all the doors would open. So, I mean, just because you're in gospel don't mean you really bout it. You could be following a script. So for me, I'm just trying to be authentic to like my relationship with God and be my version of a light through the doors that have opened for me. Yeah.
This talent right here is too talented to not go far. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, talented, yeah?
Nice.
Too talented to not go far.
Thanks.
What's the long-term ambitions of CoCo Jones?
I just want to be able to have creative, like, power. Like, to have a name with so much respect and such, like, she earned it and such credibility behind it that I can tap into any field. I can open doors for any girl who looks like me, who's good and works hard. Like, I want to have that power that comes with hard work and comes with a reputation of excellence. So I'm going to earn it.
I See You is definitely a big song in your catalogue, a song that people are gravitating to. If people are having any kind of trouble understanding what you really mean by this song, kind of break it down in layman's terms for them.
I See You is a love song about like losing love. It's kind of about when you're in a relationship where the closer you guys get together, the more you realize you guys do not make sense, like you just don't fit. And so then you separate from each other, and the further you get away, like the more clear you see them. Like you see the good, you romanticize it, and then you just get in this cycle of getting together, realizing this is terrible, going away. You know, it's just this cycle of like, when I leave you, I see you. Like the further we are, the more I want you near me.
Hey, listen, the future is looking very bright. They say my interviews are hotter. It's been with CoCo Jones.
Period.
Hey.
SK Vibemaker.